What's up, everybody? Josie here, and guess who just came back from Black Friday shopping? That's right, I did. So yeah, I did some Black Friday shopping. I ended up just going for my Blu-rays to Target, and then I went to Walmart, but I only got three movies from Walmart. It was kind of a dud, at least the Walmart I went to. But before I go to the movies, let me show you some of the other stuff I got. Nothing too crazy. I got a new controller just because mines are all messed up, even though I hardly game, but I do need a new controller. And then I got these earphones. I was going to get some of the Skull Candies that I got last year because I really liked them, but I ended up getting these. They're a little bit more pricey, but I think they're cool. They're like sports, for when I go to the gym. Because, I go to the gym now, you guys, or I did once. Then at Walmart, I got these Barbies. These will probably be like Christmas presents. I'm still not even sure who I'm gonna give them to. But I really like these new Barbies. They have like different body types, which is pretty cool. Just you have your classic ones. But then you got something like this. I'm guessing she's supposed to be an older lady, but yeah, they're a little bit like thicker, like body types, and I think that's pretty cool. Just so you could vary up your collection. Oh, curvy. So that's cool. I mean, I'm not one of those people that say, "Oh, you need to have curvy Barbies," but now that they're here, they're pretty cool. And then at the Disney store, I got these probably for my daughter, just cause she likes these. But I guess the main event is gonna be my Blu-rays. That's basically whoa, whew, they're falling all over. Alright, so I'm gonna go through them one by one. Let's see what we got here. So Insidious, The Last Key is the latest in the Insidious franchise. I'll be honest, I did not watch this. I was curious. I think I've only watched the first two, and I really love both of them. I think I like the second one more just because it was more funny. What I like about these movies is that I guess it started being less about the horror and just more about the characters, and I think that's pretty cool. And not a lot of horror movies do that, where they focus on characterization as opposed to just the scares. Then we got Split, M. Night Shyamalan's comeback, or I think The Visit was his comeback, but not a lot of people saw that one. Split is a really brilliant movie that I loved a lot. The next one I got 13 Hours. This is the Michael Bay movie, which is actually the least Michael Bay movie that Michael Bay has ever Michael Bayed. I have not actually watched this, but I heard really good things, and enough of those things that I've heard made me want to watch it. So I found it at Walmart and I picked it up. I think it was only like $5. Next one I got. These are all the rest of them are gonna be from Target. So I got Love, Simon. This is a movie that I did want to see when it came out in theaters, but it came out in one of those moments where there's a whole bunch of other stuff coming out and I just could not catch it. But it is a movie that caught my interest. It's about, I believe, a guy coming out. So I found I found that interesting, and I am curious to watch this just because I did hear some good things. Next, Paddington 2. I'm a huge fan of the first Paddington. I think it's a beautiful movie. And one of those, it's a movie that brought me a lot of nostalgia, not because of the subject matter, but just because of that type of movie that, I don't know, reminds me of like stuff I would watch in my childhood. Just brings back that sort of joy that I think has been missing a lot from movies nowadays. So that's something I was looking forward to getting, and I have not watched it, but I'm excited to watch that as well. Next, Tonya. This is also a movie that came out at a time where there was a whole bunch of movies and I did not see, but I did want to, and it's been on my list of movies I wanted to buy, and lo and behold, it was on sale, so I did pick it up, and I am excited to watch this. I think Margot Robbie is a fantastic actress, and she's growing a lot in the sense that she's becoming super A-list, and one of those actresses that maybe a few years ago when you first saw her in like Wolf of Wall Street, you had no idea where her career would have gone, because it could have gone a few ways, and I'm really happy the turn it made, and she's becoming, I think, a very respected actress, and I'm pretty happy about that. So I'm excited to watch this. Next one, The Greatest Showman. It's a movie I skipped, and to be honest, I wasn't too interested in watching it. But it was on sale, and sometimes I just want to watch a good musical, and I hear the songs were pretty good, very catchy. So I'm curious to hear those. Next, we have Murder on the Orient Express. I was gonna skip this movie as well. It's a movie that I did see, and I actually really enjoyed this one in theaters. But I felt like maybe it's not a movie that I would want to watch again. But I feel like I will, just because they have started working on the sequel, which I'm really happy about because I really love this character. What's his name? Hercule something. And I think Gareth Branagh does a brilliant job. And I think it's funny because he's also the director, so I just imagine that, like, him getting the script, and he's all like, I need someone to play the smartest guy in the world, but there's no one else who could play it other than me, so I'm gonna play the part." But he did it brilliantly, and I really like it. I'll move this to the side. Next, Blade Runner 2049. This is a movie that I also really enjoyed when it came in theaters. I went and watched this with my cousin, and we saw this in IMAX. And it's a bit of a slower burn movie, sort of like the first one was. But man, if it's not one of the most gorgeous looking movies, I felt the urge to get it in 4K, and I'm kind of regretting it now, not getting it. But the fact is, I don't have a 4K or 4K player or TV, so I wouldn't have been able to watch it anyways. But I am planning on getting a 4K soon, so maybe I should have picked it up. But yeah, this is a good purchase. I was really excited to get it. Next, Walking Dead 8th season. Yeah, I mean, it's just the 8th season, which is pretty cool. I like that season. Or the season prior to this. The reason I got this because this kind of like the last season I watched, or I watched till like half of it, and I didn't finish watching the second half, and I am curious to figure out how it finished. So that's the reason I bought it, and it was only $10, and I thought that was a really good deal for a TV show. So that's that. Then we got Ready Player One. Again, this is a movie I really enjoyed in theaters, and I was not I don't think it's like it's amazing or anything like that, but I think it is a good movie. It is a good Steven Spielberg film, and I feel like with all the Easter eggs, it is something I wanted to buy the Blu-ray just so I could watch and see more of the any more Easter eggs I could find, and I'm particularly curious to see some of the special features just to see how they managed to get all these properties. Most of them has to do with the fact that it's Steven Spielberg and no one. I feel like if this would have been made by another director, because I've heard a lot of people complain that, or not a lot of people, but certain people say that maybe he wasn't the right director to make this movie. But honestly, I could assure you that there's no other director out there right now that could have pulled these many different properties other than Steven Spielberg, because only he has that power, I guess that name. Like, if someone says Steven Spielberg wants to include your property in his movie, I feel like most studios will allow it to happen. So I feel like he was the only director that could have made it. Next, The Shape of Water. This was the Best Picture winner for last year, and it was actually one of my favorite movies of that year as well. I really loved this movie. I'm surprised I hadn't picked it up yet, but I saw it on sale, and yep, I picked it up because it's a movie that I really love, and I'm really happy that I bought it. If you haven't seen this, I highly recommend it. It's real good. Next, A Quiet Place. Again, this is another movie that I really enjoyed. I watched it twice in theaters, and man, it's an amazing movie. I think a lot of people have been calling it a horror film. I don't see it as a horror film. I mostly see it as more of a suspense. And I guess there is horror in that. But yeah, this is one of the most suspenseful movies ever. Or the tension in this scene right here when she's in that bathtub. Oh my gosh. I think no other movie has made me hold my breath for that long. So yeah, that's that one. Next we have Hostels. Uh, Again, this is another movie that I skipped, but I really wanted to see just because I heard so many good things about this movie and Christian Bale's performance. And from what I believe, if I recall correctly, the story was that Christian Bale plays this guy who I believe, I don't know if he likes to, but he has killed a lot of Native Americans, and he sees them as like I guess savages. I think he's tasked to protect one of them. So it's one of those things where he has to protect this guy, but he's used to killing them, and one of those things. I think I might be totally wrong, but I believe that's what it was. So I am excited to watch that one. Let me move these to the back. I'm running out of space. Next, now this is a movie I've been wanting to rewatch again. Game Night. This is my favorite comedy movie. I'm probably gonna say of all time. Now it's important to note that I hate comedy movies in general, and it's because most of them I feel are lazy and go for cheap juvenile laughs. This one does not. This is a really smart written film, and uh, whoever directed this, I haven't checked the director. There's there's actually a script in this. No one's because a lot of comedies nowadays, everyone's just ad libbing. There's a good script here, good writing, but most importantly, the production value in this is amazing because there's a lot of creative shots that you don't see in comedies. Like the cinematography in this movie is probably one of the best cinematography movies of the year, and it's a comedy. Like there's no reason for a comedy to have this production value, but it does, and it's amazing, and I love it. I feel like not enough people have seen this movie. If you see it, like on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, definitely watch it. It's a must watch. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a good movie. It's a good date night movie as well. You and your date will love it, I assure you. Next, Death of Superman. This is a DC animated movie. And I'll be honest with you guys, this was an impulse buy. Like, I'm looking at it now, and I don't know why I bought this. I mean, I like Superman, kind of. I'm not the hugest fan. But I've always liked this story, the Death of Superman. I thought it was always cool, So I saw it there. It wasn't super expensive, and I was like, oh, alright, I'll buy it, I guess. So that's all I have to say about that one. Next, it's another movie that came out last year, Molly's Game. This is a movie I really loved as well. I know I'm saying this, but the fact that I bought most of these is because I pretty much love them. If you haven't seen this one, I also recommend it. It's about Molly who starts like this poker thing with these rich people, like a lot of actors and stuff. And then she gets involved in some legal trouble, and I don't want to spoil anything, but it's basically revolves as based on a true story. But I love the performances in here, like Jessica Chastain. I think she's amazing here. Idris Elba, and yeah, it's really cool. Especially, I think one of the coolest parts is trying to figure out who these characters are, because as I said, most of these shady people that she's dealing with are real celebrities, or a bunch of them are. Like one of them is supposed to be an actor. You don't know who they are, but it's kind of like a fun thing trying to guess who they might be. So I think that's cool, and it's a cool movie. I like. And the last two movies I got are actually 4K movies, which, like I mentioned, I didn't get a Blade Runner because I don't have a 4K TV nor player, but I am planning on getting one eventually, probably this year. So I figure I might as well start investing in some 4Ks. I have like two of them already. So the first one I got is Hacksaw Ridge. This is a movie that I've been dying to see, but I don't know why I haven't. It's just one of those things. There's so many movies, it's hard to keep track of everything. I do not have a lot of time. I'm always busy and stuff, so I'm glad to finally get this. This one's directed by Mel Gibson. So this is a 4K, but it does come with a Blu-ray, so even though I do not have a 4K, I could at least watch the Blu-ray version. And the last one I got is Dunkirk. Now this one, unfortunately, does not have the regular Blu-ray. It's just 4K. But I don't mind waiting to watch this. I saw this one in theaters, and I think it's a gorgeous film. And so I feel like that would be perfect for something like 4K. And Hacksaw Ridge being a war movie, I don't know why, but I feel like war movies would translate well to like higher definition stuff. Uh, I remember when uh, I first started getting Blu-rays, like from when we went from DVDs to Blu-rays. Uh, I do recall some of the first ones I watched were like war movies, and those are always, I feel like those transfer well, just because uh, I think they showcase more of the technical side of the format. Um, because you got the loud explosions, bullets, and all that stuff. So it's a good showcase for the sound of Blu-rays and the quality of that. So I figure they'll probably translate it as well to 4K. I may be totally wrong. You guys can let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's kind of all I got for my Blu-rays and all I got for my Black Friday. I didn't go too crazy this year. I mean, I kind of did go crazy on the Blu-rays, but there was just so much that I haven't bought throughout the year. So I think that this should keep me company for a while. Now, a lot of people are probably wondering, why don't I just get Netflix or Hulu? And I did have Netflix for a while, for like years actually. Then I just canceled it this year just because I wasn't watching it. I'm not home all that much, and I just don't have time to watch Netflix. I always prefer doing other things. The reason I like Blu-rays is just I like having them on my shelf and then just looking through them. And then let's say I have a guest over or a friend who says, I've never watched this movie. I'll be like, here you go. Take it home, watch it, bring it back, and let me know what you think. I feel like that's just the simplest thing, because when you tell someone, look it up on Netflix, 9 times out of 10 they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna remember the name, because people say, yeah, that sounds interesting, but really no one's gonna look. But I feel like if you give them the movie, they'll probably more likely to watch it. But anyways, you guys, that's it. Let me know if you guys got any good Blu-ray deals, or if you got anything else on sale, or tell me any like crazy Black Friday stories. Those are always fun. I didn't experience anything. It was all straightforward, like I said. I went to Target. I was in and out in less than an hour. I went to Walmart. I was in and out in like 20 minutes. And then I came home, found out my mom was at the mall, so then I went to the mall for like another hour, and I came home. It's like right now it's like barely 8 o'clock, and I'm actually gonna call it already because I have to work tomorrow. Sucks, right? But anyways, that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy Thanksgiving.